Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here. It's Trash Craft Tuesday and I've been playing around with a little idea and it kind of worked, so I'm really happy about that. I've made little shaker pockets. So these are my prototypes. This one was the first one I made and it worked. Yes, it worked, but there were a few little issues with it and I thought, well, I'll try again. If you're wondering about the paper, it is one of my printables from Patreon for this month. So this is my second one and it still had an issue, but I thought I was happy with how to go about it. So we're going to do some shaker pockets. What you will need to make two pockets, you will need one sheet of decorative paper of your choice. I'm using this beautiful print here. This is from RachandBella Crafts and it's Nostalgic Noel. So that's out of that kit. You will need, this is the trash part, you will need some sort of plastic packaging. So this piece is from a sticker sheet and so this is one half of it. So there was another piece and out of that one piece I got both of those pockets. So this is the other half, so I imagine I'll get two pockets out of that. But whatever you've got, this is, I don't know even know now what this was from, but something I got. This one is an old one I found. So old, I have no idea what it was from, and it may have been given to me by my mum. So just some sort of plastic sleeve packaging stuff. You know, the very flimsy, light stuff. And I do apologize, that's probably going to create a bit of a glare for you with the lights. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. Okay, you'll need some double-sided tape. I prefer the thin one for this project, but use what you have. You can either cut it in half or just adjust your flaps on your pocket to be as wide as your tape. Okay, so bear that in mind depending what size you're using. And then you'll need something for the shaker pocket. So it might be loose glitter, sequins. In my other pockets, I used these, the little mini flat-backed cabochons, gems. They are still a little bumpy, bumpier than what a flat sequin would be. But using a writing board, I think it'll be absolutely fine to write on as long as you're using a writing board. So you could use something like that. You could use die cut shapes, punched shapes, whatever you like. Whatever you would typically put in a shaker pocket, you can put in these, or shaker tag or shaker card, whatever, you know, whatever you're making. So most shaker things are an aperture. So you'll have a frame and then the aperture in the middle, and that's the shaker part. I've made it so that the whole front of the pocket is the shaker. You see that? So they go all the way top to bottom, left to right, all the way across. And these I've used glitter as well as the cabochons. So I did discover if you're using something like these that are one-sided, because these are silver on the back and then they're red on the front, is this one I painstakingly put them all in up the right way, so the red was facing up, and then when I turned it over, half of them were upside down. So there's a bit of air gap in there, you know, otherwise they wouldn't move. So they do flip up and they flip back down again. So if you're using those, don't bother trying to put them all in the right way up. Just tip them in and they'll go up and down as they like. Just my wee tip. Save yourself the time and bother. Okay, so let's get started. Take your sheet of paper and I'm just going to fold it in half, make a little crease and then cut it in half. I could tear it, but I'm cutting it. And it doesn't have to be precise. And you can just make one, oh sorry, that was a bit loud. Make one pocket and keep the other bit for something else and then make a different pattern. I'm just going to use both pieces. Okay, so we've made pockets like this quite a number of times. I'm going to start by folding in the side and so I'm doing quite narrow because I'm using narrow tape. If you are using a wider tape, then just make sure this is as wide as your tape or slightly wider. It means that your pocket will be narrower. I have a feeling that's not folded straight. Let's do a wee check. Oh, it's not too bad. It's slightly off, but I don't know that I'll bother fiddling with it at this point. We'll just leave it and see whether we need to adjust it later. So let's try. I'm going to line up the bottom edge there because the top edge is not straight, and try and get this one straight. It's so hard to get these little folds straight, isn't it? The paper likes to warp. Okay, I think just taking a bit more care helps, like I did there. Okay, so far so good, simple. Okay, if you're using a directional paper, you need to think about which way round you want it. So it's going to be folded in half. So I think I'd want this, which is the front, up the right way. So if I flip it around here, do that, that's going to be up the right way. So that's going to be my front of the pocket. So I'm just going to fold it down a little bit at the top just to reinforce that top edge. And I'm going to snip out those corners. Just to take out the bulk. And I'm doing this so that I know which is my top of the front of the pocket. Okay, this is going to be the top of the back of the pocket. So here, you want to fold it down just a little bit more. Okay, so a bit deeper. And that's, so on this one, I didn't fold down the top and I've got white showing. On this one, I did a deeper fold, so that would go down below the top of the front of the pocket to give it a decorative back. So that's the difference. That's why we're doing this fold here. Okay. And again, I'm going to snip out those corners. Oh, actually, sorry, don't do that. We don't want to do that angle like that. So this angle, yes, on the long side, but this one we just want to go down beside the fold line. So I've made a wee boo-boo because this white's going to show because I took it in too far. So you want to do just a little snip there, not this big one here. Learn from my mistakes, preferably. Okay, so that's going to effectively fold like that. So now that I've got this here, I can fold this up and make sure it covers that back section, and that's going to be how deep my pocket is. Okay, with me so far. I hope I'm going okay, apart from my little oops. Okay, so now we want to, I've got to remember, we can glue this one down, this larger one. So I'm just going to do that with glue stick. Oh, my top is really bugging me this morning. The sleeve keeps slipping off my shoulder, giving me a cold shoulder. And it's not that warm yet. It's like, it's not cold, but it's cool, you know, because it's, what, 8:20 in the morning. So just like a little on the cool side, but I didn't want big floppy sleeves today. I just like, no, I don't want to work with big floppy sleeves. Okay, like so. Okay, now we're going to trim these top sections here down to that fold line. So again, miter it and then just run down that fold line on the side. Whoops, I'm slightly off there. It's pretty forgiving though, so don't get too panicked if you're a little offline. And then same on the other side. It's quite hard to see the fold line, but you can do little trim ups you know, keep testing things, and it's like, is anything off? Like this is too far out, so my side flap isn't folding, so we need to go in, and I can see that I missed the fold line. I'm just going to give that a little trim down. Okay, it's still being a little obstinate. So if you pay more attention in the first place, you won't have as much trimming as I do, because I'm talking and trying to think ahead of the steps. I'm kind of not concentrating really so hard. So that's to a point now where I can just refold those side flaps so that they're going to work, and happy with that. So I've got this little bit of white showing here. You may not see that on camera, I don't know, but we will be trimming this into an angle like this, so it will take care of most of that. And I've got white showing here on this, but just a little bit. Okay, so we're good to go there. Now comes our plastic, the fun part, the part that's going to turn it into a shaker. So all we've glued so far is this flap on the back of the pocket to give us that patterned top. Okay, that's all we've done, all we've glued. So open it out, measure a piece of plastic or line up a piece of plastic. It doesn't have to be a certain size as long as it overlaps each of the 4 sides. So this fold line here that I've got here, if I fold it, maybe you might see, needs to go under that, below that. So again, depending on the width of your tape, so leave a good amount, I would suggest. So I'm going to go, actually I might just go in half with this because I know I get 2 pockets out of it. So I'm just going to kind of go there. And I've got enough there for 2 pockets. So open your pocket out, and I'm going to start putting some tape on. So I'm going to put tape on this loose flap at the top. Right on the edge there. And I'm going to put some below this fold line, which will be on the back of the pocket. Now I might put another strip on. Right, so I'm going to start at this top flap. Peel the tape off. Line up your bit of plastic. I'm going to put it right on that edge, pretty much. Oh, I missed half the tape. It's the trouble. Oh, now it's peeling off that tape. Okay, need to do a wee fix up, because if that stays sticky, it's going to stop things going in and out of the pocket, and we don't want that. So to fix that, I'm going to just take a little bit of washi when I can find a bit. Okay, this will do. Because I made an ops, I haven't put it straight. It's like covered here, but it's not covering the tape there. It's still on the tape, but it's not covering the tape. So I'm just going to put a little bit of washi on there, just to cover that stickiness. Yeah, that's covered all the stickiness. So this is a good lesson in covering mistakes. I'm just folding that washi over. Okay, so now I'm going to fold that over, give that plastic a crease so it kind of stays where you want it to. And now I'm going to use double-sided tape to, you could use tacky glue or whatever to glue the flap down or to secure the flap down. I'm just using double-sided tape because it's right beside me. So you won't even notice that washi tape there. I like to keep checking, making sure that everything's working. Now, we want to secure this at the bottom here, this plastic. Don't pull your plastic too tight or it's going to pull up your paper and it won't sit flat on the page, which is something I did a little bit with these. I don't know if you can see it's kind of puckering a little bit because I pulled the plastic too tight and it's pulled the paper up. Once there's something in the pocket, I don't think it will be a huge problem, but just be aware. Don't be tempted to pull it really tight, because when you fold everything up, you'll find it's not actually sitting flat. Right. And the natural plastic wants to pull it up anyway. Okay. So from here, I'm trying to remember as I go. Right. So I want to put tape on one of these flaps, which I should have done before I secured the bottom bit, but never mind. Oops, get the backing off. The last flap is the fiddliest one because we need to leave it open to put our fun shaker bits in, and then it's a little bit tricky getting in between the plastic and the paper, but it is totally doable. Right, so we can fold that, just give it a crease to make sure it's kind of sitting where you want it. Don't forget those bits of plastic sticking out. Okay, you will have bits of plastic that want to kind of pop out and do weird things. That's okay. You can secure them with tape as you go. You can take some of the bulk out, but be careful. Like if you were doing a corner normally with paper, you would kind of you know, cut across the corner. But if you do that, you're going to end up with weird bits of plastic that you can't actually secure. So you can take some out, but don't go too close in. So you can just take a little kind of segment out. But just be very careful. In some ways, I found it easier just to leave them in and then put a bit of extra tape on top. But I've just taken a little bit there. Okay, so now I need to, which side did I put tape on? That side. So I need to also put tape on this side. So I'm going to secure that bit of extra plastic that we've got from the fold with the tape as well. I can probably take a little bit more. You'll see as you make it where you can trim bits off and where you can't. So just go carefully, because you don't want your glitter or whatever escaping either. You want it nicely kept within your pocket. So I'm going to fold that one over and secure that down. This is the back of the pocket. It's not going to be seen, so it doesn't matter how many bits of tape you put on or what you have to do to make it nice and secure. Okay, now here we need to now stuff our pocket with our fun bits. So I'm going to start with some glitter, because I think glitter is really fun, and about the only way I use loose glitter now is in a shaker item, so it's not escaping and getting everywhere. So this is quite a sizable glitter. It's not super fine. I'm going to put probably that much, little or as much as you like, just to your preference. And I've got these Merry Christmas sequins here, so let's put one of those in. Could put more, and make sure it's like, it will move around, but make sure it's like readable the right side up, because I don't think this will flip over. Don't know, I haven't tried it. Hopefully it won't. I also have some stars of Christmassy colours, so I'm just checking there's no like pinks in there because I don't want pinks, not for this. So let's just take a bunch of those, or maybe a few more, why not? I seem to have mostly green, which is fine. Okay, so we've got some stars. So you can just put one thing, you could just put glitter. I'm just playing with supplies that I found. I went hunting, I knew I had sequins, and it took me a while to find them. Right, so there are pink ones in here, so I need to be, and blue. Do I want blue? I don't think I want the blue. Oops, we don't need that many. So let's pop silver and gold. There's also purple. I don't think I want purple. There's some green, another silver, some red. Oops, get rid of that blue one. Oops, don't want that purple one. Okay, that's probably ample. Now, where am I going to put them? Here we go. Hubby's wee pill dish will do the trick, and I'll put them in the packet later. Okay. So just get them past that fold line. Okay, now comes the tricky part. We need to put tape along that flap under the plastic. You can do it ahead of time, but just don't peel the backing off. So I'm just gonna, I tore a bit off of my roll. I'm gonna slide it in there, and then get in with my fingers and peel the tape off. Okay, so it's not super difficult, it's just a little trickier than normal. Okay, right, so another bit of tape now on the flap. Again, I'm just going to try and secure the ends of that plastic down so it doesn't pop out. And same at the other end. Oops, my tape's too long. That's okay, we'll just fold it back on itself. And then you can close up your pocket. Now, if you've got any gaps that you think, oh, some glitter might escape or something, you can come in with any tape. So a bit of washi tape, a bit of sellotape. I don't use double-sided tape. Well, I did actually on my prototypes just because I was lazy. But the double-sided tape, if you're not taking the backing off, is quite thick. So something thinner I recommend, just so you're not adding extra. Oh, why is this gone all funky? It was weird. This tape's really, really good, and that edge didn't want to peel up, and it tore. So I'm just going to get rid of that. So if you've got any areas that you think the glitter might escape, just put a bit of tape on them, and it will seal it up. And there is our shaker pocket with fun bits. And so once you shake it up, all those bits start to blend together and mix in, and it's just super fun. I hope it's not too glary for you guys, because I'm getting flashes of it myself. So there's our first one. So let's make another one, walk through it again, just so I remember how to do it and you guys. Okay, so this time I'm going to try and be a bit more straight on my folds. And trying to remember, oh, hang on, we haven't actually finished. Now, if you do want to distress these, make sure you do it before you glue anything on or put the plastic on. We need to do our cuts at the side here. So just a little angle snip. Don't have to worry about making them the same angle, but I just prefer to. on these, because I did my first one I did, and it's like, oh, the angles are so different, it looks stupid. So I've taken to doing the old tag angle trick. So now we've just got a little bit of that white showing, not so obvious on this because the background is pale, but isn't that pretty? And I've still managed to get a little of that pull up happening, but I think once it's down on a page, glued on a page, I think it'll be fine, and you'll still get your shakeability. Okay, now that we've finished that one, we can go on with this one. So I thought I'd make one of these for the journal I'll be making with the nostalgic Noel kits. And then I thought this paper might also work in one of the Joey card maker kits that I've got to do as well, Christmas kits. Okay, so that's going to be my front. So yes to the double mitre on this flap. Okay, this one, do a bit deeper. Sorry, a little bit croaky. Okay, but on this one, do the mitre on the long side, and then along the fold line at the top. So the other side, mitre on the long side, and then on the fold line. And if it shows a little bit, then you can trim it up later, because it needs to sit inside the fold lines. Okay, let's glue it down. I'm just going to go for tacky glue this time. Oh, yep, I thought it's not coming out, but just had to squeeze a little bit longer. Shall we distress this one? Because I haven't distressed any of them, so maybe that might be a nice little variation. And I think my aged mahogany. Just need to grab the right pad. It's getting very fluffy with being taken on and off the Velcro. Let's trim it up. Bit of maintenance as we go. Okay. Before I do that, actually, I want to do my fold in half. So I think about there looks good. Okay. So inking. Ink the top of that fold. The bottom, which is why I wanted to fold it first, so I could get this fold line. And this edge. Now I'm also going to do this edge, but we will be snipping it. So I'll have to go in and get those bits that we snip off afterwards. And I also need to trim off these side bits here. So again, just trying to go close to that fold line. I'm slightly in from it, I think, this time. And the other side. Right, check those. Yeah, I knew I was off kilter there. Quite hard to see. Cool. Right, we're ready now for our plastic. So, plastic. Let's try and line it up properly this time. So, tape there, tape there. Again, you could just use tacky glue on that underside or a glue stick or something. Right, try and get the plastic on the whole piece of tape. There we go, I think we covered there this time. Oops, got a little bubble. Let's flatten that out. Okay, so now I can take this out. Take this out? What am I even saying? Glue this down is what I mean. And give it a nice burnish. The plastic is super thin, so even if you leave those corners in, it's not super bulky. You just got to watch that it doesn't sort of pop out and leave a funny bit of plastic sticking out. Is really the only thing to be bothered about. Okay, so bit of tape along here. And this time I'm going to go ahead and put the tape on all of my flaps. This might be slightly easier, and then you've just got to get your finger in to get the backing off. So we'll try it this way because I haven't tried it this way. Yeah, I need to do there as well. So both sides of each flap is what it's equating to. Okay, right, let's do that side. You can also add an embellishment on top of the plastic if you want to use a focal image of something or add a word or something. You could do that over top. That would look really cute as well. Okay, so choose one side, whichever side you want, and glue down, secure one side. Like so. Let's give that a crease. A nice film crease there. So which side? That side. Actually, need just a little bit more tape there because I put it underneath this bit of plastic, so I need to put some over top of that plastic as well. Otherwise that bit's not actually going to stick to the back. So whichever way you go, just make sure everything's secured. Okay, and I do have some gaps there, so I'm going to use my washi again. Preferably use a washi that you don't like. I love this washi, but it's just what I had to hand. You know, it's going to be hidden, it's going to be glued down, so use something that you don't actually like or don't find you use a lot of. No point using your favourite washies for something that you're not going to see. Okay, so that's that side. We are ready to stuff the pocket. Okay, what do I want to put in this one? Well, let's start with glitter. Nice good amount there. Let's put a Merry Christmas in. Shall we go a different colour this time? I've got a gold one. Shall we use a gold one? Will that blend too much with the gold glitter? It might do, mightn't it? So maybe we'll go green. You've got to be careful with these because often they're punched out and there's more than one. That one's just one though. More than one sandwiched together. So we've got Merry Christmas. Yes, let's add some stars. And I think I'll skip the hearts this time. I'll just do the stars. So I don't want the pink. Sorry, not today. Oh, there's some blue ones in there as well. Let's put quite a lot of stars in this one. Oops. Getting some pink ones. I'm going to end up with a whole lot of pink and blue ones, aren't I, left in the container. Probably need to do a blue Christmas or a pink Christmas at some point. But since this is the first year I'm actually doing Christmas journals, I think I'll be doing well to get the 4 done that I want to get done without adding any other ones to it. Okay, just want to pick out some of those ones that aren't green because there's a lot of green in there. I think because I had a whole packet of green and then just some random other bits in an old pill bottle. I've had these for years. It's good to start using them. Left over from when I was making a lot of cards. That's when they're from. Right, get rid of my scraps there. Okay, so let's seal it up. Take off this one under the plastic. And again, I've got that same issue with that bottom bit of plastic. That needs a bit of tape over top. And again, just securing the edges of that plastic. You may or may not have to do it. I've had some areas where I haven't had to do it, so just give it a wee once over and take care of any that seem to need a little extra something. So there we go, we've got 2 shaker pockets. They don't take all that long to do. So we've done 2 in less than 40 minutes and I've been talking my way through it. If you're making them just on your own without talking or mucking around like I do, they don't actually take very long at all. So let's snip those corners and see, I haven't got any white showing. I don't know if you can see or not, but there's no white showing on that this time. So I finally got it right on the 4th attempt. I've got to have a nice pocket without any white showing. The others are still fine, perfectly usable. It's really minimal, the white showing, but it's just nice not to have it. And then just ink up those bits we snipped off and it's done. So there we go, my friends. Made 2 pockets there, and then these are my prototypes that I made. This one I also didn't have the paper. I just cut a section off, made this one, and then made this one with the leftover. And then I realised it would actually work really well just cutting the sheet in half. So you can vary the size of them. Also depends what bits of plastic you might have available. But I'm sure you've got something. And if you haven't, you would have. Maybe it's something that's been thrown out. So sticker packs, even socks. Hubby gave me a bit of plastic that was wrapped around his socks. So even like usual household goods, you're bound to have some of this plastic stuff come across your desk at some point. So there we go, fun shaker cards, just to add a little bit of fun into your Christmas journals. Just grab out a page here, so pop it on a page, and as they turn the page, it's all going to tip, and then I can just imagine someone sitting there and shaking their journal just to, like, fun, interactive fun. Okay, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this project. I hope I made it clear enough. But I encourage you just to get in there with your supplies and fiddle around, and you will work it out like I worked it out. You just play, have some fun, and make some fun, interactive pieces for your journals. It doesn't have to be Christmas related. You could totally use like punched out leaves. You could leave out the glitter and use something that's duller, but even glitter in nature would be fun. These are Christmas. These could be any theme really. They're just pink, red and gold. So fun. I'll stop shaking them now. I can't help myself. It's just so fun. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.